Welcome to this episode of Ween's World. I am Jeremy Weens, your local realtor here in the Southeast. Today I'm joined by Lisa Gryba. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Lisa
Awesome.
is a mortgage broker, and we're talking to her because we just had something pretty interesting happen I think yesterday, with the interest rates going up a lot more than we were expecting, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think that we're going to find that moving forward, they may not go up as high as what we're expecting, but you can expect every time that the Bank of Canada rate can bump, it will bump.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common right now. And
Yes.
we were expecting 75 points. It went up a full 100, right? Like we went all the way up a full percentage. So
Yeah.
how does that affect people when they're looking at buying a home?
So, it creates a bit of a panic because we don't know what interest rates are doing. I've been in the industry for a long time, and I haven't seen the interest rates go up as aggressively as they have been in the last couple of months. What we can expect is that these interest rates will continue to go up. So it's important that our borrowers are educated. It's important that you understand what's happening. I believe, and this is what we anticipate, that through 2022, the interest rates will continue to increase at a steady slope. 2023, we expect the same thing. So I think that it's important that we understand. It's important you know what the variable product presents to you and what risks it offers, but also what benefits it offers. And also on the fixed side, when you lock in, what does that mean? Does that mean now your rate's not going to move for a specific amount of time? So we can expect that those rates are going to continue to increase. I think when we're educated, we don't need to panic. We need to understand the market. We need to understand what the rates are going to do.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is knowing. Knowledge is power, as the saying goes, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to this. So how do we protect our buyers and even our sellers in this? And because typically if you're selling, you're going to buy something else. So how do we protect them? Like as pre-approvals, I hear they're kind of some lenders aren't doing them anymore, but
they're so important.
I believe so.
There's so much power behind a pre-approval, and I feel that again we're educating them, right? So the number one thing with a pre-approval is you want to make sure that the lender, the broker, whoever you're dealing with is doing a formal pre-approval. Are they gathering your documents? Are they pulling your credit? Are they actually submitting for a rate hold? Because the market was so I was so aggressive, a lot of times there's a lot of brokers, a lot of lenders that felt, to actually formally submit, to actually formally get that, it's kind of a waste of our time.
Yeah.
I find that is not a waste of my time at all. Sometimes we've barely submitted and an offer's coming in, but it's important that we do our due diligence. It's important that I dot my I's and cross my T's. It's important that I have a plan A, B, and a C, because sometimes plan A in my mind is black and white and it's going to be perfect, but what if? It's always those things. We're not quite sure. So it's important that your credit's pulled, you've submitted your documents, we have everything we need, and that when we've submitted a pre-approval, what we've started to do on our pre-approval documents is provide our clients with a price point. And this is key too. When we give you a price point on a pre-approval and we say it's a home isn't a condo.
Right.
We have condo fees then, and we have all these extras that we have not anticipated, right? So it's important that we give you a price point on a house if that's what you're wanting, but it's also very important. Make sure you know when it expires. So we've started to put an expiry date on there because we know on our end when it expires, but you maybe don't know.
Right.
Is this pre-approval good for? Some of my lenders have started going from my normal 90 days to 30 days. Some do 90 days, some do 120 days. So my job is to diarize, to follow up with my assistant, and then follow up with my client again. This pre-approval is expiring. What's the plan? Are you still in the market? Do you want to proceed? And we extend it. So the other thing is when I do a pre-approval, oftentimes, depending on the borrower, but 9 out of 10 times, I try to maximize my ratios. And what that means is if you came to me and you said, I'm in a house, I want to buy a house for $350. I may push it to 400 because that's what my ratios allow. And I will push it as high as I can go. What we're seeing now, and this is key because we've never faced this before, because the interest rates continue to go up so aggressively, when your pre-approval expires, you can expect, if your ratios were maxed, your pre-approval will come back less now.
Yeah.
Because what's happened is interest rates have gone up. So when our interest rates go up, your borrowing power reduces.
Yeah.
And if I've pushed those limits, I want nothing to happen that if I give you a price point of 400 and you go show clients houses at 400, and now my property taxes are a bit higher than what I thought they would be. My goal is that I don't have to now have issues with my ratios, and now my numbers don't quite work, or now I got to tweak my down payment, or all of these things. So it's important that the borrower knows their price point, knows that they're pre-approved, formally pre-approved. You know what your rate is, how long is this rate good for, and then it's our job to kind of babysit the transaction. We need to communicate that to you.
Absolutely. I think you touched on a good point there where you talked about condos, how they're different. Like with the condo fees and such. I mean, how many times have I been looking at a house and then I'm like, oh, now we want to look at a condo. Well, hold on, we got to check and give the mortgage broker a call and say, hey, how much can we afford with condo fees or this, the property taxes or this? Give the information, share it, and then can we go see this one? Yes, it works. No, it doesn't.
Totally.
Or at this price point, that price point, right?
Have to.
The pre-approvals are huge. I still stand by them. I won't go show people houses without it because it's just the expectation, especially now with interest rates going up, it's risky. The one thing I often hear from clients is, oh, we have to give so much paperwork, so much information.
Yes.
But the reason why we do that is protection, is to guarantee that, guarantee as much as we can the pre-approval, and hoping that
we have to
changes.
Justify the numbers that we present, right?
Yeah.
So I think that that's shifted too for the realtors, because you guys used to get phone calls, you'd get a lead, and if you would mandate that they'd go get a pre-approval, you risk losing that referral. Today, that's changed.
Yeah.
If you are not pre-approved, your realtor knows you're not pre-approved, you haven't done your due diligence, this can become a waste of time, because now what happens is we're driving all across the country looking at so many homes. The market is so demanding today that you have to have your facts in order. Absolutely. You need to be able to present to your realtor, here is my pre-approval letter. I know what I'm doing. I'm an educated buyer. And guess what? If you're going to come buy my house and you can give me a pre-approval letter, you have an educated realtor, chances are you're going to win that offer because you've done your homework.
Yeah.
As far as documentation is concerned, it's a big struggle for us, right? You can imagine, because we do the application, and I refer a lot of my clients to my website, because I say, do it at your free time. If it's in the evening, at night, whatever the situation is, fill out that application. When we get it, we call you. I'll go over the application with you, and I'll request documents. Those documents, you got to remember, like, I deal with 50 different lenders. You could tell me you have $1,000 in a bank account, 10,000, 100,000. I don't know. To me, it's all relevant, right? I have no idea. You could be stringing me along or not. I don't know. So when I'm verifying income, I'm doing all my due diligence so that we don't run into any kind of a problem down the road. So it's important for me that I get a letter of employment. If you say you work there, do you work there? How much do you make? Do your pay stubs match your letter of employment? Sometimes we ask for T4s, because sometimes a lot of people work a lot of overtime. They work shift work. They, in the healthcare system, right? They work a 0.7, a 0.8. Well, what does that relate to 0.7, 0.8 to you and me? We don't work a 0.7, 0.8. So on paper, what is that number?
Yeah.
So we try to verify all these numbers. And even the biggest thing is this: when I have a client that's selling and buying, my job is to very clearly communicate to my borrower what they need to sell for, what's my realtor commission, what's all these things. I digest all that information, make sure we have enough money to do what they want to do. So it's important that if you haven't had the conversation with your realtor, it's important I do, because I need to know that my numbers work. And if our numbers don't work, do we need to inject cash into the deal? What does it look like?
Yeah.
Again, we're educated.
I think that's the biggest thing, is knowledge is power. Well, I think that's going to be all for today. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining me today. Where can people find you if they want to know? So
I'm located at 98C Brant Street, but more importantly, they can call, text, email me anytime. My number is 204-371-9284. And I also have a website. It's very updated. So if you want to go to lisagryba.com, there's lots of helpful information on there. And give me a call anytime. We can discuss any of the particulars.
Yeah, sounds great. So if you got any value from this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure we connect. If you're looking to buy a home, let's get you pre-approved. Let's get you on your way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care.